Alright, if you've made it this far, then you know my channel. But check out some of the best, smaller time FIFA YouTubers out there. We've got Blurcle. We've got Hxnleyy. We've got Rads, the CEO of Apple Juice. Tim Woods is involved in this with us. We got JJLozzer, always bringing the heat on his channel. And last but not least, we've got Layers with his unique brand of FIFA action. The 7 of us got together and we did a little draft. And it was a little bit funky, but we like that. So we've got some unique rules, and we put together, we're going to play a season and see who comes out on top. Now let's take a look at these rules. 7 teams drafting. We're only allowed to have 1 player from each country. And we picked the 25 top European countries. We took those countries and divided them up into 5 pots. So the top 5 countries could only be drafted in the top 5 rounds, and you can only take 1 player from each country. So once you take a player from England, you can't have any more. Once you take a player from Belgium, you can't have any more, so on and so forth. There's no salary cap, so you can take any players you wanted. And then we had to sim through a full season. You could play up to 5 games, and one of them had to be against Hxnleyy. I didn't end up playing all 5, and you'll see why. So you see the team here, and I came out of this draft feeling pretty good. I mean, look at this. Lewandowski, Bernardo Silva, Sancho, Kevin De Bruyne, Leroy Sané. Erling Haaland is not a top player on this team, but I mean, what a guy to have as your 7th best attacker. You know, a little light on the defensive depth, but I got 3 strong center backs there. I got a great goalkeeper. I mean, this really, I'm thrilled with how this came out. So, you know, we'll see how it plays out, but I'm pretty excited about this roster here. If you haven't seen my videos before, you might not know, I play on Ultimate, but with my own sliders that I've put a lot of effort into, and you can check them out here. It's really tailored to what Ultimate ought to be, since Ultimate's all screwed up right now. So I played out the games I played by hand. I played with the sliders that I use for my normal career. So here we go as we get into this, and my strategy is going to be to play against the crappy teams and sim against the better teams. As you see, we get off to a 5-0 start. Lewandowski with 4 goals. My goodness. I hope that's a sign of things to come. You know, I trust my drafting a lot more than I trust my FIFA playing ability, but here we go with Hxnleyy, and this is a game I have to play. I got to play him at least once during the season, so it happened to be game 2. Let's get it out of the way early. They're not a particularly dominant team, although we're going to put that to the test. You see an early goal by Hxnleyy, and my defense, you know, in the sim game tossed out a shutout, but here right off the bat we give up an early goal. Coming back on the attack, Sancho up to Bernardo Silva, cuts across, fires, and a goal. Bernardo. That's a great goal to tie it back up at the 30-minute mark. Undeterred, however, back on defense and not going so well. One defender misses, cuts inside, and Loris has no chance. No goalkeeper in the world stopping that. Down 2-1 in our pseudo-rivalry game here. And not off to a good start with the playing by hand here. Late in the game, trying to tie this thing up, trying to get out of here with a draw. A disappointing draw, nevertheless, but up ahead. And this is not a good way to go about this, and sure enough, we give up a goal, and that's going to be the nail in the coffin. We're going to lose this match 3-1. Not at all indicative of how we look on paper or how we played in the simulated game. This team really should have been better than that. That's a weak offensive output. It's bad defense. So we dropped to 1-1 on the season. We're going to sit a couple more games here. Blowout, 3-0. Lewandowski gets another one. Sancho, Silva, it's great. Get a sim a road game here. 3-0 again. Haaland, Silva, he got a red card. Brozovic. So we haven't given up a goal in any of our sim games yet. We're looking at 3-1, outscoring them by 9 goals. All 3 of those goals against I gave up by hand. So so far I'm a much better general manager than I am a FIFA player. Simming again. 3-0 again. Lewandowski's just finding the net in his sleep. Sancho with another one. And now we've got a Champions League game coming up. Now, the way we work this first place is going to go to, whoever finished higher in the League One table. But anybody who wins the Champions League outright automatically wins. And then the League One table will be used as a tiebreaker. So this is a big deal here for the Champions League. We're facing Ajax right off the bat. Tough match to start with. We're in a pretty tough table, but we win 2-0. Haaland with a goal and Sancho. A good, strong Champions League win to get things started. So back to the domestic action, and we've got an away game here, but this is a team that is beatable, so we're going to go ahead and play this one out since I've got to play a couple of these, or at least I'd like to play with this team full of stars. So early on the attack, what a beautiful goal by Brozovic. From the top of the box, just drills it home to give us a 1-0 lead, and that's more like it. That's the kind of offense I'd like to see. Of all the guys to have it from, we got all the weapons in the world on this team. He's not the guy you expect it to come from, but we'll take it. And French Virgil's fired up. Here we go in the 30th minute mark, trying to play some defense. It's not going too well. You see wide open goal. We've just been exposed to that. We've got 3 backs along the back line, but in this 3-4-2-1 formation that I use, the middles, the left and right middle, have to help out on defense, and I've got 2 really offensive players out there in Sancho and Sané. As you see, it really leaving me exposed. It's just the 3 guys on the back line. The defensive midfielders are not providing enough help because they're not really defensive players, and it's leaving me exposed, at least in the manual games, in the way I play. And so that's going to be a problem in these manual games. I'm not sure how many more of these we're going to see. 2-1, and we're trying to get a comeback going, but it's just not happening. 3-1, this is just, they're taking me to the woodshed now. We're not getting enough offensive attack going. We're not playing any defense, and it's really just, it's not good. It's not good for a team that hasn't given up a goal in the simulated games yet, and should be just beating up on people. Look at that, rebound, nobody there to mark him, and that's going to do it. We get another goal in there after that from Lewandowski, but because he's automatic every game, but ends up being 3-2, and we drop down to 4th in the table, and it's not going well when we play in person at all. So we may be doing a lot of simming here coming up. One more try. We're going to play one more game out and see how this goes. And sure enough, on the break, right off the bat, no chance, trying to stop it. Nope, not going to happen. Just not able to play any defense. Not to mention the guys I have on defense are a little bit older. They're having some stamina issues. And so I'm having to use some of the depth I have, which is, depth is a relative term on this team in terms of defense. I got a bunch of guys, but outside of that top 3, they're not very good. I really went for offense because, offense is more fun, as it looks like it is. I wish we were scoring some. With all the offensive firepower I've got on this squad, we just can't find the goal. At least I can't find the goal. We're scoring plenty when I simulate. So here we go. Jadon Sancho beats his man. A little hesitation move. Looks for a man across. Finds. There it is. Bernardo Silva again. We've had some luck playing manually with him. He seems to find a spot there in front. Jadon Sancho beats his man, and he racks up a lot of assists in real life. So it's nice to see that translate into the FIFA world. You see him get behind the defender, and then Silva just gets a little separation, and that's a nice play. That's how I score a lot of goals. If you've watched my Werder Bremen career, that's kind of my technique to score a lot of goals, is to find that man back across center. Oh, that's not something I do a lot. The chip-in goal. It's cheeky. Very impressive, very impressive. Not even mad about it. Another loss, 3-1, and that's going to be it. I'm not playing any more of these games. It's fun, but losing's not. So we're going to start simulating. We're here in October. We're going to start simulating through. You see a Champions League game against Chelsea. You see some wins there, a draw, a loss to Olympia. So we get out of October, and we're sitting in 6th place, which is below where we ought to be with this team. That's not good enough with this roster. November brings us a little more packed in schedule. Got a couple Champions League games. Look at this Champions League pool I'm in with Valencia, Chelsea, and Ajax. That's no slouch. We start off with a draw in the league. We'd lose to Valencia, finally get a win. We'd lose to PSG, and then we draw with Ajax. So that's not an overwhelmingly positive November. December, going to bring a little bit of heat early in the month, and then we've got some time after that to kind of regroup as we get to the new year here. We start off with a loss, a draw, finally a win. Beat Chelsea in the Champions League, another loss and a win. So kind of a mixed bag here. And as you see, kind of as we turn the calendar into the new year, Lewandowski is really carrying us, second in the league behind Mbappe for goals. But outside of that, we're not getting a lot going here. So nice, easy month of January. Not making any transfers. You see the League Cup kicking in. That's going to start kind of jamming up the schedule. Nice win there, and a draw against PSG. So an undefeated month. That's good. You see February starting to fill in a little bit, with Champions League games and domestic cup games. So the schedule's getting really packed, really going to test our depth. We got a win against Strasbourg, another solid win, cup win, league win, draw against Man City in the Champions League, another win, and another win. That's a great month. An undefeated month with 8 games in it. You can't ask for more than that. And that's going to really start to move us up the Ligue 1 table there, as they call it. Into March, not quite as jam-packed. We got a League Cup win there, that's good. Lyon, we make up for the loss earlier. We beat Man City, so that's going to advance us in the Champions League. A win in the league, and a draw in the league. So again, haven't lost in quite some time. And let's see where that puts us. That puts us into 4th in the league table. So we've really kind of worked our way up. We're in a European Cup spot. That's good. Now look at this. We've got Barcelona in the Champions League. That's going to be tough. Well, I don't know if you saw there, Liverpool popped on the schedule in the Champions League. It means it must have gone well against Barcelona. A draw, and then another draw. But we must have been the away team. Are we going to win on away goals? Yes, we are. So 3-3 on the aggregate, but we win on away goals against Barcelona to make it to the semi-finals of the Champions League, as well as having some success in the league. Here's another win, and then we've got a cup win against Lyon, and then a loss against Liverpool. So we're down 3-1 on the aggregate against Liverpool, heading into May, and that's going to be awfully tough. I'm sure we're going into their place after this, and that might be the end of our Champions League run. But hey, making it to the Final Four is no slouch there. I did something right with this team at least. Another win in the league, loss to Liverpool. Can't say I'm shocked there. A win, and a draw. So we finished out the league really strong. We're going to end up finishing 3rd in the league, 2 points out of 2nd. PSG absolutely running away with it. 33 wins, 5 draws. I mean, just to give up 16 goals on the year. My goodness. It's just absurd. But all in all, 3rd place, 25, 6, and 7. Had I not played those 3 games, might have been more like 27, 7, and 4. So I picked a good team, and I suck at FIFA. What can I say? Now we've got one more game against PSG in the domestic cup final, in the Coupe de France. If you thought my German was bad, my French, it's going to be even worse. Oh, it's a win! We win the League Cup. We win the League Cup against PSG, who did not lose all year, and we win 3-2. So, let's see, we got Leroy Sané here as the player of the competition, player of the tournament. So really, all in all, a pretty successful season, as you see kind of how a lot of these guys ended up doing. Lewandowski carrying us with the goal scoring, but Jadon Sancho, 18 goals between all competitions, and he missed some time. That's only in 41 games. 18 goals, 14 assists. Can't beat that. Nothing wrong there. Lewandowski, 33 goals in 37 games in the league is just unbelievable. Kevin De Bruyne doing Kevin De Bruyne things, 15 goals, 11 assists. I actually would have liked a little more out of him, but all in all, we'll take. He was our first pick. I had the first pick in the draft, and I took him. Leroy Sané did well. You know, you can see kind of how a lot of these guys did over the course of the season. So let's recap how we ended up overall. Third in the league, can't complain about that. Champions League semi-finalists, we won the Coupe de France. All in all, that's a pretty successful season. So thanks for joining us in this little experiment that we did. I'm going to run through these guys again because they really do great work, and I want you to check out their channels. Blurcle, Hxnleyy, these guys all were involved in this. This was their idea. They just asked me to join. Rads does some crazy stuff on his channel. He's always drinking apple juice. Tim Woods has some awesome graphics, does a ton of different careers. You know, a fellow American. JJLozzer really does it great with the graphics and does some cool stuff. Layers, he's got some really interesting insights. He's a lot of fun to watch. So, and then of course us, if you don't subscribe yet, give us a shout. Thanks for joining us here on Total FIFA.